Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And you will see, I'm sorry I'm shouting because I'm so excited. My parcel has arrived and I've not even opened it yet. So I'm just going to put some base on and then I'm going to do a review of and very first impression of the new iconic products from Charlotte Tilbury. So stay with me. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm back. So I've done my base, I've done my eyebrows, and this stuff is still in the bubble wrap. Now, if you are joining me because you are just basically wanting to see swatches, I get that. Often when a new product comes out and I'm in a rush, I'm trying to decide whether to buy it. You might not want to go through the whole video. So have a look. If that's you, have a look underneath, because after I upload this video, I will be posting a pinned comment to the top with timestamps. Or if you've watched it all the way through and you think, I want to go back and see that swatch, then basically I'm going to list all the swatches and the timestamps so that you've got kind of an index. Because I know not everybody wants to have to wade through a whole video. But if you are an Ali Pally, and that was from Shoshana. I love that comment. I love that phrase now. It's going to stick. Or you're new to my channel and you just want to hear my whole review, then please do stay tuned and let's get going. I've just now taken this out of the bubble wrap and I am going to be showing you today the new Iconic palette. And is it Icon? No, it's the Icon palette. I beg your pardon. And 3 of her new Latex Love lipsticks. Okay, so can I just start by saying, I said this yesterday on my live, that I think the whole marketing around this and the packaging and the adverts, I just think that Charlotte is losing sight of some of her clientele. What I've always loved about Charlotte Tilbury is when she comes on and she does makeup demonstrations and she says, you can wear this if you're 18 to 80. But I mean, I've just printed off some stuff from her website. And I think even what she's written about it kind of, to me, suggests it's kind of suggesting a very young age group. And it's kind of a little bit off-putting to people over the age of 30 or 40. I'm certainly over 40. Anyway, so let me just read to you about what she says about this collection and see what you think. So she says, eyes to electrify and lips to lead astray. That's the kind of big advert. These are the legendary iconic shades that everyone needs to lift their mood and transform their look for anywhere and every occasion. Discover Charlotte's 12-shade hypnotic icon palette and 6 seductive latex love lip glosses. Inspired by iconic men and women of the past and present, the Icon's eyes and lips allow you to wear the worlds of legends, from the mesmeric Kate Moss to the incredible Naomi Campbell. You can become an icon when you wear these multicoloured, multi-use shades. It's electric star quality in a palette. And I think it was the kind of electric star quality. It's just some of the phrases. But I do appreciate that she is including men. And that is a good thing, because I think a lot of other companies have not been very inclusive of men when it comes to makeup. So well done, Charlotte, for that. But please don't forget the older age group. I've always loved that about you, is that you're so inclusive of every age and now every gender. So this is the packaging. And again, you'll see what I'm saying about maybe a little bit off-putting if you're of the older age group. But she's kept very similar packaging with the lipstick. So you will see that. And here's the palette. I haven't even opened it yet. So again, it's got the same front on it. And I've already got a fingerprint on the front. And let's open this baby up. So here is the palette. This pristine, untouched palette. Let me show you. There you are. Those are all the shades. Now, I think some of the feedback has been about the fact that they're all glitter shades. But I think you can see from here that these two shades don't look quite as sparkly as the other, but we shall see. And I really do want to see whether or not, you know, a look can be pulled off that is going to work for any age group. And if it's going to work on me, then, you know, it's going to work on women of an older age. So I'm going to swatchy those palettes, and then I've got 3 lipsticks. So I've got 3 of her Latex Loves. I have got Studio 64. I've got Berry Nude, and I have Canne Tropez. And Canne Tropez is the one I saw on Really, and I thought I've got to have that because it was a kind of bright orange, and I like a lot of the time when I get peachy lipsticks, they wash me out. But I do like peach lipsticks, so I'm hoping that that one's going to suit me. And of course, you all know that I love a red. So let's get going. I'm going to swatch the eyeshadows first, then I'm going to swatch the lipsticks, and then do a try on of the lipsticks, and then I'll finish off by doing a look. Okay, so Charlotte groups these in vertical lines. So she's got day eyes, date eyes, diva eyes, and disco eyes. Now, and again, disco, but I am so excited to finally see a blue in a Charlotte Tilbury palette. I have been waiting so long. I even said to them in the Charlotte Tilbury shop, when is she going to put a blue in a palette? Not one blue in any of her 10 iconic looks. So I'm really excited about that, because blue is really good if you've got brown eyes. Okay, so those are the shades. So I'm going to take you through each one. So I will start with the day eyes. So first of all, we have the prime shade from the day eyes look. So yeah, very, very shimmery. I should go easy, shouldn't I? Because I'm going to run out of arm. Okay, and then we have the, does she call it enhance? Yes, the enhanced shade of the day look. These are quite similar shades to some of, that reminds me a lot of Pillow Talk and Exaggerate. And then we have the smoke shade, I would assume. Yes, the smoke shade. So let's see if this looks a little bit more matte. I don't know if you can see on the finger. So it looks a bit more matte, but it's got a sheen to it. So it's rather than shimmer, think sheen. So it's going to reflect the light, but it's not going to shimmer. So I'll be interested to see what that's like on my hooded lids, because I kind of avoid shimmer. But this is quite a different kind of finish to one that I've seen before. Okay, so next we're going to date eyes. So first of all, we have the prime shade. Now, I find it hard to believe that this is the prime shade. If this is a prime shade, you know where we're going from here on in, right? So this is hopefully not your first date, because if this was your first date, I think you would intimidate with that as the prime shade. Okay, so that is the prime shade. And then the enhanced shade is a little less sparkly. Coppery gold. Reminds me very much of that coppery gold that was in the Boom Boom Bloom palette, actually. And then we have the smoke shade, which doesn't look smoky at all. So this is a very intimidating date. I don't think a man would stand a chance if you turned up like that on your date. But beautiful, very beautiful. Okay, so those are the date eye. And then you have the diva eyes, which actually, now when I think diva, because I was trained as an opera singer, I actually think of, I would have thought of that. That to me would have said diva. but these are actually a little bit more muted compared to that look. So this is the prime shade of the Diva. Still, for a prime shade, it's still pretty full on. Then you have the enhanced shade of the Diva. And then the smoke shade of the Diva, which is actually quite matte. Again, it's like that one up there, very like that one up there. So it's matte, but it's got a sheen to it. So think sheen rather than shimmer. It's a little bit like, you know, when you think of paint on the walls, you know, when you get satin paint as opposed to gloss paint or sparkly, I don't know, do you get sparkly paint? But it's like satin sheen paint. And then we come to the disco eye. Get ready, folks, get ready. I'm going to put the disco eye here because otherwise I'm going to be putting it on my elbow, I think. Shall I put it there? No, I'll probably fit that in. Okay, so this is the prime shade. I'm laughing because I can't see how you would use that as a prime. You might want to use it on its own, but I think that's where the word prime just sort of goes out the window. So it's kind of, it's green, but it's got all sorts. It reminds me a little bit of Pat McGrath shades because it's got it reflects all sorts of different colours. Can you see that? So you get greens and you get silvers and you get golds and you've got a bit of black in there. It's one of those shades. It just definitely reminds me of kind of one of those mothership shades. And here we have the blue, which is the one I'm really excited about. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That's going to look stunning on brown eyes. You know I'm going to have to try that. And then we have a black, it would seem. An elbow swatch for you. So that again is like the kind of matte satin shades. Probably got a little bit less. I don't know whether that's because it's on my elbow. I'm just looking at that on my finger. No, it's still got that sheen to it. But it's matte, but it's got a sheen. Okay? So there are the eyeshadow shades. And now I'm going to swatch you and do a try on of all the 3 lipsticks before I do a look. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is Berry Nude. So this is Berry Nude. I just put the wrong one on. So if you see traces of lipstick, it's because this is a second take. Now, I've heard stuff about the smell and taste of this. I think that looks lovely. Really shiny. It's shinier than the shiny ones that she bought out at Christmas. The Superstar lips she bought out at Christmas. They're like very pigmented lip glosses. Now, they do have a faint taste of what I can only describe as essential oil. I'm quite pleasantly surprised because I'd heard reports about this and I thought maybe it was going to be a muddy taste or it was going to taste like her Genius Magic powder, God forbid. But actually it's not too bad, but it's a taste you won't be used to with a lipstick. But it's not that strong, but there will be some people that don't like it. It's a little bit like how you would smell an essential oil, a faint smell of essential oil, but tasting like that. And the smell, Again, the same, a faint smell of essential oil. And I think that's probably the patchouli that's in it. So that was Berry Nude, which I think is lovely. And I'm quite pleasantly surprised because I thought it was going to be quite like Pillow Talk, and I wasn't sure whether to get it because I've got Pillow Talk and I've got the Superstar lips in Pillow Talk, but this one is pinker. It's sort of more, yeah, it's pinker. It's a little bit more towards Bitch Perfect. It's darker than Penelope Pink. Okay, so that's Berry Nude. Moving on. Right, the next one, Canne Tropez, was the one that I was desperate to get. This was my first choice. I don't think the lipstick's responding well to the white that I've just used on my lips. So I'm going to get a tissue to remove this one. I love that. Because on my skin tone, that looks peach. It doesn't. Now, if you're fair, then it may be too orange for you. But on my skin tone, it looks like a peach. And that's what I mean is often I get something that is described as peach. And when I put it on, it just wipes me out. Now, there is a shade that is peach for fairer skins in this collection. And I will put a voiceover of the name of that. It's called Belle de Soir. So if you're fairer and you want a kind of peachy look, there is another lipstick in this collection that will be good for you. But if you're mid-tone like me and you never get a peach that doesn't wash you out, then this is perfect. I love it. Right, so just get a tissue to take this one off. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we have Studio 64, which is a very bold orangey red. This is very like a shiny version of Tell Laura, or the, there's another lipstick, one second. When will I learn? I can't talk while applying lipstick. This is also very like the Hollywood lips that came out in Hall of Shame. So you've got Walk of Shame and Hall of Fame, but there was a Hall of Shame. Let's end this agony here, shall we? It was called Walk of Fame. I've just looked it up. And Charlotte, please stop giving your lipsticks such similar names. And then you've got Hollywood and Genius and Magic and everything. It just confuses oldies like me. Okay, it was Walk of Fame. They're all very similar names, but there was a limited edition one that came out in the Hollywood lips that was very like this. But it is also like her Tell Laura lipstick, but a shiny version of. Very nice. I like that one. Okay, so that's Studio 64. Now, I don't know how long they're going to last. I can't imagine they're going to last that long because they are quite... They've got a lot of oils in them, which is going to make the lips look really good. Let me just zoom in here. They do make the lips look really good, but the payoff of that is because of all those essential oils, I'm not sure how long they're going to last. I'll have to do a wear test and update you guys later. But I'm actually very happy with them. And I really wasn't sure whether I was going to like these or not. And I only got 3 because I wanted to do some swatches for you guys. So I am actually very happy with those. So let's get on, and I'm going to take this off because I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, and I'll do a look. And then at the end, I will do some comparisons with the lipsticks. So I'll find you the nearest shade too out of my collection. Okay, so I think a lot of people that were wondering about this palette, or I know a few people have been put off by this palette, are wondering whether it will work on them in terms of their age group. So if they're not in their early 20s. And I know a lot of people that follow me are not in their 20s. There are some, but a lot of people that follow me are in their 30s, 40s, 50s and 60s. And so the burning question will be, will this suit me? So for that reason, I am not going to today, I'm not going to use some of the more muted shades. Because if I do that, that's not really going to tell you that. I'm going to be a little bit bold and go for some bold colours. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on whether I think, because I believe that makeup is for everyone. And I don't believe that colours should be off limits for everyone. I'm just a little bit disappointed that the way that it's being marketed isn't encouraging people of an older age to try out these shades. Now, you know that saying, in for a penny, in for a pound. Well, I've got a teal top on, and Disco Eyes has got green and blue. And so why not? Why not use those two colours and see what it looks like on me? So I'm just going to use Disco Eyes today. Okay, so I'm going to get going, and I'm going to put some of this prime shade, and I'm actually going to put it on with my fingers because I reckon... Let me just straighten out my concealer on my lids. I reckon that this applies really well with the fingers. There we are. And I'm going to put that over the lid. Like so. Now they call this a prime shade. So you could put this over the entire lid. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to kind of put this... I think I'm going to put this 3/4 of the way over my mobile lid. And I'm interested to see what this blue looks like and whether or not it's going to work in my socket. So I'm really going for it today. Okay, I'm just going to get, I need to take this a bit further along. I'm just going to get Charlotte's blending brush, and I'm going to use the blue and blend that into the crease. Okay, and I'm also interested to know if these shimmer shades really work with a blending brush, or whether really they need to be applied with your fingers. So I'm going to now merge that blue and green together. And then gradually take it in to the crease. Right, it's not moving around brilliantly with the brush, although it applies quite well with the brush, but I'm just trying to drag that over a little bit more. Let me just... It may just be that I didn't have enough on my brush. But this is a first impression video, guys, so I'm just telling you it as it is as I'm doing it. I like that. So the other side. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the smoke shade from the Diva Eyes, this one, to just transition it out the top to see if that works. So that just blends it out into nothing. Now this satin, I can already feel that the satin shades seem a little bit easier to pick up. Easier to pick up with the brush. And then finally, well, on the top lid, that is, finally, I am going to just put some of this prime shade from Day Eyes just underneath my brow, just to highlight under my brow. So predominantly it's the disco eye, but you're getting to see a few more of the shadows. Now, I just want to test what this is like with a wet brush. So I'm just going to intensify the lids with the green and the blue, because at the moment, I just want to see what it looks like, basically, when you put a little bit, when you spray them with water, because I hear that they do incredible things. And they're very like eyes to mesmerise when you do that. So I'm just going to get my water bottle and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just taking a Real Technique shading brush and I'm loading it up with the green prime shade in this disco eye look. And I'm going to wet the brush and see how that applies and how it intensifies the shadow. Wow, it really does. That really intensifies the shadow. So I'm very impressed with that. And although I don't really want to intensify or make that any shinier in the crease, I am going to just try and wet that blue on the corner of my lid there. Very, very intensified. I think you could safely say that that changes it a lot. So these respond really differently when you wet them. Look at that. And actually, because this does look a bit more mattifying, I am pushing that up into my crease a bit more. Yes, I like that. I'm liking that. And then I'm just going to take the smudge brush and take a little bit of the blue along the outer edge, and then mirroring what I've done underneath, mirroring what I've done over the top. I'm just going to use the blue on the outside and then merge it into the green on the inside. Okay, just for the sake of trying another shadow, I'm just going to put this prime shade here, this one here, and just in the middle of my eyelid, just to give me a bit of a highlight. I think these are beautiful. This does remind me a lot of Pat McGrath in terms of the feel and the finish of some of these shadows. And I'll take some of this prime shade of the Day Eye and just pop it in there to brighten up my eyes. So I'll just put some mascara and eyeliner on and I'll be right back. I've just had another thought just to test out yet another eyeshadow from here. The black shadow is, I think what I'm going to do is wet the shadow, wet the brush and use an liner brush and see how it works as an eyeliner. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of that on. Again, it's a Real Techniques eyeliner brush. You could do this with Charlotte's smudge brush, but I don't want a really thick black line on my eyelid because of my hooded lids. So I'm just going to go in with this one. And sometimes with these I wet the brush too much. Then I have to go back in and pick some more up. This works really well as a liner, and actually I think is more forgiving on an older lid than using, say, her pen or her Rock and Coal. That's the thing with powders, is that they just look more forgiving and they're just easier to work with as well. And then I just run that along the bottom slightly just to join it up, like so, and smudge it out. And run that along the bottom and smudge it out. That one doesn't want to go up. Come on, that's better, thank you. Sometimes if you talk to your makeup, it does what you want it to do. Okay, I'll put the mascara on and I'll be right back. Okay, I just swatched all these and forgot to press play. What am I like? So we're on to swatch comparisons now. Okay, this one here is Canne Tropez, and next to it you will see Super Cindy, which is the nearest one to it. As you can see, they are very, very close. All right. And then the next one is Berry Nude. And this one here, which is Pin-Up Pink, which you can see is a little bit lighter. That's one of the Hollywood lips. Okay. And the other one is Sexy Sienna. Okay. And the last one is Studio 64. Now, I couldn't find my Wall of Shame or whatever it was called. It was a limited edition Hollywood lips. It's probably sitting in a handbag somewhere, and I haven't put it back with my lipsticks, so that's going to bug me now. But that is very like this. I know it was from memory. And this is Tell Laura. So those are the similar shades, but as you can see, you've got a completely different finish. Very, very shiny indeed. And I will give you an update on how long they last. They feel very comfortable. There's a bit of a perfumey scent, but scents are always difficult because a lot of people were bothered by Charlotte's Genius Magic powder, and it didn't bother me. So some people might be troubled by this. It doesn't worry me. It's not unpleasant. It's just a different fragrance to what you would used to be. Normally lipsticks have got a vanilla-y type fragrance. This is more an aromatherapy oil type fragrance. So a bit perfumey, but not unpleasant. And they certainly make the lips look lovely and shiny. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Now, my conclusions about this is, I think I've proved, I hope I've proved to you all that I am, you know, a lady never mentions her age, but you know that I'm sort of on the wrong side of, the upper side of 40s, I should say, not the wrong side, the upper side of 40s. And I've managed to do a look with the most boldest disco look possible. And I didn't like her other palette where she had the disco look. It really wasn't for me. But I do actually like this because it's sort of tealy blue and it's something different. And I think the other shades in the palette, some of them are duplicates or could be seen as duplicates for ones that you might already have. And I'm looking to see the palette now. And I will be sort of doing a few looks and talking about it over the next few days. Some of these might double up for ones that you already had. So I am actually glad that she's brought these shades in and been bold enough to put them in the palette. I just wish that the marketing company would remember that there are a lot of people that are in the older age market. She was always inclusive of every age group, and I think in trying to include men and to get the younger people more interested in products, she may be inadvertently making people feel a bit intimidated who are older. And so come on, Charlotte, make your mum up using this palette. Show people that there's nothing wrong with wearing bold colours when you're older. I'm actually loving this, my first impression. I will leave you with some swatches. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, please leave them below. And don't forget to look out for those timestamps so that you can go back and check out the swatches that you want to check out. All right, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, so you can see the wet swatches on the left and the dry swatches on the right. Now the second one down, which is the enhanced shade of Day Eyes, is almost identical to Eyes to Mesmerise in Rose Gold. It looks very pretty. And so those are all the swatches. Do stay looking because the lipstick ones are coming up. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to be posting swatches of all of these shades as well. And I will put the details of my Instagram name below on the screen in a minute and also in the description bar. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the swatches.